Well, welcome everybody. It's a wonderful evening. I think it's quite a unique evening that we have all over the world having Nuno with us. I welcome Nuno. I'll just introduce him in a moment. As you know, I'm Dr. Luke from Dr. Luke on Call, but I'm also a medical doctor. I'm Dr. Skalkberger, and I wouldn't consider myself a YouTuber. I love people and I love looking after people, but I love investing and I love cryptocurrencies. And I got involved in Utrust with the ICO, and yeah, I've grown with this amazing community. I think many of you are have been with us from 2017, and tonight, because of a community member, no hype, no price hype, and all nonsense like that. Because of a community member, we've got Nuno to talk to us, and really, I think the trend for the night is very laid back, baseline discussion. How do we feel as a community? And I want to ask a few basic questions and just normal things that we can talk about. What life
Yeah,
is about, what adoption is about, and welcome. Great to have you on.
thank you guys. All of you, you are like family for me. The ones like you, obviously, Luke, that have been with Utrust. I see Ash here as well, Orlando that I talk as well, João, active community member. Utrust is more like a small, big family that believes in a dream, and obviously, on that side, there is a wonderful community supporting us. On this side, there is a team working hard to make our dreams come true. That's it, basically. I'm very happy to be here, and I think this is super cool. Like doing this type of things, I'm a really big fan of it. I actually prefer this style than actually I don't know, YouTube interviews and stuff like that. I'm not like the biggest fan of that, to be honest. I think we lost Dr. Luke, didn't we?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, he is. You
There we
are
go.
you are on mute. I think you are on mute. Good. So what happened?
That is why we talk about this tonight. This is now what it's like when you're in the middle of the bush and you're from Africa. And I want to talk about all the unbanked and all the people that don't have bank accounts and stuff, but if they have a phone they can at least do some sort of transactions. So that's exactly the situation. I'm on my mobile, in my car, with a laptop. So sorry for dropping off there. Yeah, I really think, so hopefully it's not going to happen again.
No worries at all. I don't know if you caught what I was saying. I was talking about our community and obviously the team, how united we are, and I mean, both the community and the team play a very important role for the future of Utrust. And I mean, I hope we make things even bigger. Obviously, Utrust was a white paper many years ago. It's a company now with hundreds of merchants and growing. So it's not a dream, it's actually something that is growing. Um, and it's in the space of blockchain technology. That's, I think it's the most exciting space right now. And yeah, I agree with you. Helping the unbanked and improving the technology that people currently use for payments. That is very old. It's older than me, for example, and than all of us here, I assume. So yeah, and I'm excited.
So yeah, I'm not going to ask you to introduce yourself and tell you where the dream came from. I think we all have heard that before because
Yeah.
we've been part of the community. So I think I'm going to jump into some of the basic things straight away. There's a couple of things that I want to discuss. I think number one, um, you know, I think there's two big group of investors. You get a group that they are in a coin or in a company or in a token because they want to make money. There's a big percentage of that. They don't care about the fundamentals. They only care if it pumps or not pumps. So they want announcements, and they want, you know what it's like, when Spotify, when this, when that, when all that.
Yeah.
And, many of us have been around for 3 years. We've been around ICO days, 6.5 cents. We've been around over $1. We've been around to 0.07 cents. And many of us are still here. And I think that is the true core community. And I think for that are the people that, we want to educate and say, yeah, it's great to be part of Utrust and to see the vision. I think everyone that's here sees the vision. We see a vision where many people can be able to buy online. Yeah, the price might pump. Bitcoin might go to all-time high. It's close. It might drop to 13,000 tomorrow. We don't know. But the main thing is, do we believe in the fundamentals of the company? And I think we do. And that's why I want to commend you. Thank you for sticking through all this boom and this bear market and still being there and yeah, being part of driving everything. That's great.
No, thank you for the kind words. I would like to add something to what you said. Obviously, we are well aware and monitor every day the price of our token. We want to be successful, obviously, and it was not only difficult for our community but also for us, because we saw the amount of work that we were putting in, and it was just not reflecting in the price. And probably because we never played like other projects did. I think we always did things by the book, and we still do. But I think that the industry itself is maturing, and people are getting more educated and smarter when it comes to blockchain companies. And they figure out faster now if a company is just I don't know, just something that doesn't exist, to not use bad words, or if a company actually has a product, big team, is public, transparent. Are they pushing what they presented in the beginning, their vision? Are they delivering on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis? So I think investors are more looking to those type of projects now. We have a lot of probably new investors in UTK, or holders as per se. But obviously what we like the most is to see that the first ones, a lot of them are still with us. And for us is really important, because it shows that what we are doing is not just for the price of an asset to raise. It's actually create something that people will use, and that will have a positive reflect on obviously the price of the token. Because at the end of the day, as one of the founders of Utrust, I want it to be dollars as well. I want everybody to be wealthy and happy. Obviously, that's my dream. But how one can achieve that? Only through hard work and delivering. That's it. Anything else is just cheating and non-sustainable stuff happening in the crypto markets that I think all of us are well aware of. I mean, projects worth hundreds of millions and even billions that nobody uses, not even people, not even businesses. They're just useless protocols that are at the end of the day irrelevant, because there needs to be substance and business. And to complete what you said, Bitcoin was created for payments. All of those protocols out there that are faster, cheaper, etc., they forget that it's not relevant if you are faster than Visa, if merchants cannot integrate you in seconds and people don't actually use you. What Utrust does is actually the bridge between people that have cryptocurrencies and businesses, because if you cannot buy goods and services with a currency, it's not a currency. Okay, where is the value? It's just speculation. And that's exactly what we are solving here. And I think it's still the early beginning of Utrust, to be honest. And we are very, very happy with the traction we are getting. our numbers, our volume is getting higher and higher. So the team is extremely motivated now. It was a bit tough when we started last year because the traction, we weren't seeing the traction that we wanted. But obviously it has been growing a lot, and the more it grows, the more it grows. It's like a snowball effect. So now we are much more happier and confident that not only we built a solid product, but also there is demand now, and we are still in the beginning of cryptocurrencies. Imagine what will be demand in 5 years for Utrust, okay? And obviously, for sure, you guys are going to ask me about PayPal. What do I think about it? Because that's a hot topic, but we can discuss that later.
I'll leave that to the community. I'm not going to ask you that because I'm not too concerned. Well, if I go to the second group, just to agree with your investors are savvy. They understand. They look at tokenomics. They know there's a 500 million fixed supply. They know 450 is in circulation. They know the others a lot. People look at those fundamentals, and you're right. Snowball effect is there in the crypto industry. I know I think you payment option for Ivan on Tech now. A lot of people watch Ivan. There's all these influences, but ultimately you want long-term staying power. If you look at the market cap of crypto as a whole, what are we now? 500 million. Gold is 9 trillion. It's so far from that. And like you say, how do we pay? But I think the big thing, the other part of the investors, the real global adoption for Utrust, and I want your opinion on that, is that there's such a use case for people that have got no idea what cryptocurrencies is like. They want to buy online. They want to shop online. They don't have credit cards. I'm in Africa. South Africa has got 50 million people. If you go onto Google Trends, I'm sure you know this. If you go into Google Trends and you Google Bitcoin, and the number one country in the world for use case is Nigeria. The number 3 country in the world is South Africa. And the reason why
second.
Second. Well done. And then obviously South America as well, which I'm very passionate about. And I know we've got a lot of South American people on the call. They don't have credit cards. I do have a credit card, but what I'm saying is a lot of us need something like Utrust so that we can pay for online stuff. And there are millions of people that would never maybe know anything about tokenomics or blockchain. All they want to do is they want to go online and they want to be able to purchase food and stuff. How do you feel about that market, which will never maybe know what blockchain is?
It's basically our market. Think about this. I mean, we enable people to, from any wallet in the world, can be a centralized or decentralized wallet, to buy goods and services without relying on a third party. This means that you own the keys and you buy the goods and services. I mean, this is beautiful. The fees are low, it's safer, there are no chargebacks for the merchants. I mean, if you compare this with credit debit cards, it's just pure freedom of money and efficiency. And obviously I think that 1/3 of the world population is unbanked, but obviously we don't only focus on that market. Eventually, even people that use credit debit cards now will change to digital currencies because banks will become obsolete. You don't need them to issue you pieces of plastic that you need to wait some days to arrive, and then they charge you huge fees. And obviously I'm talking against me because Holt is a Visa card issuer, okay? But I'm just thinking ahead of time. For now, we still need those cards, but in some years, the vast majority of the population will use their own wallets, either cryptocurrencies, and will use cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, or even corporate issued currencies such as Libra, or even central bank issued currencies like the Chinese digital yuan. So what will happen with those solutions? They will eventually become obsolete because the world evolves. Everything evolved around us. I mean, I used to go to rent VHS cassettes to see movies, you know, and now I get access to my movies in a click of a button. Everything is really changing around us. Cars are driving alone, you know. Your mobile phone has more processing power than the spaceship that went to the moon 50 plus years ago. So what's happening here? Everything is evolving, but money is still the same. We still use pieces of paper. We still use pieces of plastic. We still rely on banks to store what's ours and make money with our money, and then go bankrupt and we end out of money. So, you know, this will change. Everything changed around us. I think money is evolving, and you see what's happening, and money will change as well. Money will change as we know it, because there will be different forms of money. Bitcoin will be one, Libra will be another, central bank issued digital currencies will be another. They will have to coexist. But one thing they will have in common is that they will all rely on blockchain technology. And that's it. And what's Utrust? We are a payment gateway for blockchain technology. That's it. For the money of tomorrow. Whatever form that money takes, we are sure that it will be digital money, and most likely on the blockchain, obviously. So we have built a payment gateway for that. I see, if not with Utrust, but obviously we'll fight a lot for our market share. I see other payment gateways. People will use digital currencies. And for that, obviously, there needs to be a payment gateway. For peer-to-peer transactions, I can send you a cryptocurrency. But when it comes to commercial transactions, there obviously needs to be a way of merchants integrating a service really easily, KYC, AML, and obviously buyer/consumer protection. So for peer-to-peer transactions, I think that money will really be free in circulation. But when it comes to commercial transactions, a service like Utrust is absolutely mandatory. It's needed. And you were talking about Ivan on tech. He was actually using Coinbase Commerce, and he switched to us. Not because we asked him. I know he likes Utrust a lot. I mean, I know Ivan since early 2017. So he's a friend, but obviously he has a huge business to run. He will not integrate Utrust if he does not feel that fits his business in a better way. And obviously Utrust is quite different from Coinbase Commerce, because we do the automatic conversion to fiat. We have underpayments, overpayments, refunds, all fully automatized. And also the tax report are fully automatized. So for merchants, it makes sense to have a service that brings less work for them, and it's more efficient at the end of the day. And it was a nice surprise that he, after testing our service, he changed to us. And I was very happy with that. And for sure, we will see it happening more and more. We have a couple of merchants from BitPay, a couple from Coinbase Commerce. It's like a snowball effect. Utrust is like a snowball effect at this point.
Absolutely. No, you've summarized it well. I think the one thing that you've touched on the Hold app, and I think the community would sort of want me definitely to ask this. So we all, if you can give us a little bit of background on Hold. Personally, I've signed up on Hold the first day that it launched. Even we got it. We cannot obviously get the card, which is not the big issue. I think the app is, personally, I like the UI. The one thing that I think is positive is the fact that I can switch Bitcoin to other ERC20 tokens in Ethereum, which is not possible on Uniswap. It's not possible, to do it straight, to Utrust. So it's nice to have that option. It's great to be able to get 1%, UTK back. There's obviously a fee that you can see that the app takes for the transaction. I think, is it a case that you've maybe had more numbers than you thought, because we were struggling? I think we've all had our days where, like this morning, I struggled I couldn't see the euro values. I couldn't swap. And I know this is growing pains. So if you can explain a little bit on the app, and is the app maybe going to change? Is it going to be branded differently, or are we sticking with the app? Just a bit on that, because I love it. I just think it's got growing pains, but I really like it.
No, I mean, we are talking. I mean, I'm talking with our community, you know, with token holders. So I will always be 100% transparent and real, unless it's something that I cannot disclose for some reason. But we got some issues during the weekend because of the high amount of users doing trades and users onboarding. We were not ready. We already in the first 30 days we had a huge volume of users and transactions exchanges, and to be honest, we were not expecting. So the back end was not ready for that demand, and we worked all of the weekend. I'm sure you realize that the app sometimes didn't display prices, then displays again. This was us constantly improving manually what we had until we figured out a better solution. We are quite confident it's 99% fixed now. We are still doing some minor changes so it doesn't happen again. But basically, this is a scaling issue. And I mean, normally you scale slowly, but things went up really, really fast. I'm super happy for that, but at the same time, all of you know how perfectionist we are when it comes to what we built. And obviously we worked during all the weekend, yesterday, all the night. We were on top of it because this was a major issue. It looked only as a price not displaying for the users, but you can understand that behind it, there's an entire architecture that needs to be redone and changed. Basically, that's what we did. I think that there won't be any issues. I mean, obviously minor issues here and there, it's normal, but that issue will not happen again. I hope so. Still, we are tweaking some minor things. Regarding the rebrand, that's something obviously on the table. The rebrand does not depend entirely on us, as we are in contact with Visa. Visa needs to approve our trademark, then we need to produce new cards. So there is a process that takes some time, but there is obviously a chance of the app being rebranded on Q1 or Q2 next year. If everything goes smoothly as we want. Regarding the app, a little bit more, we will have new features in the app. We are currently prioritizing what will come first. So next year we will see exciting new things in the app as we evolve. Regarding the cards, we hope to have new regions next year as well. And obviously tier 2 should be released soon, and we want tier 2 to be super cool. I think tier 2 will be really, really interesting for all of us. Not that tier 1 is bad, because obviously it creates buying pressure in the market and decreases the supply every time a transaction exchange happens in the app, but we want to make it even bigger. We just needed this first 30 days to understand users' behavior, the numbers, and obviously you discussed that we charge a fee. We don't necessarily charge a fee. Basically, we pull the rates of the market, maker and taker, and then we need to read the order book. So that's the difference. If you change exchange back and forward on any exchange in the world, you see that you will lose some money if you are constantly changing, because obviously there is spread in the market, okay? And this is something that we have on our app as well. But since we allow you to make a spot order, but you don't see the order book, we do it and we read it, and we provide you a rate. A good way for you to have better rates is to exchange smaller amounts at each time, okay? Instead of just exchanging, for example, 1 Bitcoin for X amount of UTK at each time, or vice versa, do it in tranches, because we are connected to liquidity providers and we read the order books. If there is no liquidity, the rates you'll get are worse. And this is something that even on Binance, Huobi, all of them, it's the same. It's the same issue.
Yeah. So you're basically talking about slippage, and I've seen apps like Dharma, and their slippages are horrible. Maybe shouldn't say that, but it's improved. What I'm saying. So the slippage, I think, is not a big issue. The fact that we have the luxury of using it, the way we can use it is incredible. The fact that we do get the 1% in UTK, there are some people in the community that's already increased the UTK by quite a lot. So just for some people that are not 100% on that, because people still ask, where does the UTK come from? So the only way you can add UTK to rewards that will be paid after 6 months is to physically buy it from the market and put it in the person's wallet. There's no other way.
We display it on the person's wallet, but obviously it sits on our account. And then
you have to buy it.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Yeah.
And then we distribute it after the lock period.
I think that's important for people to know. That is very deflationary, because you cannot create more tokens. And that's, like some people might not know, if you have an ERC20 token, the contract is fixed. You cannot alter the contract. And by the way, talking to that, really congratulations with the way you handled the Kucoin hack. Maybe that's not the topic, but if you want to have a quick comment there, the Kucoin hack was one of the best examples that I think that a company did that is an amazing company, because, no one took responsibility for that. Kucoin doesn't take responsibility. And to redeploy the complete contract, it was amazing.
It was insane, trust me. It was really, all team on deck. We were like barely sleeping. It was a really intense time. And also we were listed at 12 or 13 exchanges at that point. And imagine I had to do obviously that work, talk with all of the exchanges, negotiate with them, the token swap, stop the deposits and withdrawals. It was really intense, and the majority of exchanges are based in China. So I had to, it was really, really, really intense, but all of the exchanges performed our token swap, and we even got listed on Binance, something that our community really asked a lot. And we didn't pay anything, by the way. We never paid any exchange. So all of the listings we got were entirely free, and we are proud of that. And I think it was a matter of time for Binance to list us. We never pushed, we never engaged. They came to us, and it was really cool. And we eventually got listed in an exchange that our community was asking a lot for it. And obviously it's a great exchange.
And I think for that, you can have a sip of water. I think for that is that, there's a principle of sowing seeds and reaping rewards. And, sowing seeds, sowing the right seed will always reap you multiple rewards in future. But things take long to grow. You've got to water the seeds. You've got to really invest in them. And like I say, when you sow bad seeds, trying to make quick deals, never going to work. So I think the respect of the community went up, and I think in the crypto world with redeploying the contracts from wherever you listen, Ivan, and doesn't matter who you listen to. That was amazing to see that. So you can comment on that, but also I want you, before we open up for some questions, there's a few people that maybe want to ask questions. I want you to, when we talk about sowing seeds, you have got some roots in Africa as well. If you can give me a quick update on that, that's also good.
Yeah, my mom was born in Mozambique. Her parents were Portuguese immigrants that went to Mozambique. It was a Portuguese colony at that time, but then it had its independence. But yeah, my mom used to go to South Africa all of the weekends, because South Africa, she talks about it and her eyes even shine, because it was so evolved. And she was living in Mozambique, so the fun was there, the action was there. And the world is small at the end of the day. Because she talks about South Africa so much, and you are from there, and I certainly feel I have been in Africa many years ago, but on the north region, but certainly I feel a lot of connection with Africa, and I don't know why. Probably because my mom was born there, and she lived there until her 20 something. So I think it's on my blood. That I don't know, the African charm, you know, the beauty of the land, the food, the fruit, the animals, everything, man.
Lions, yeah, there's lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I think a lot of people that are on the call, obviously, there's a lot of French in West Africa, and then you're right, the Portuguese country or Portuguese colony of Mozambique. I've been there as well, and they still speak Portuguese. You know, when we go in there, I don't speak. I speak, you know, French and a couple of other languages, but not Portuguese, and I need to learn it, and maybe one day. But Angola was the other Portuguese colony as well, so they're all our neighbors. But you know, amazing that we can connect like this, and that the world is so open that we've got, you know, people on the call that can appreciate that. And yeah, I you know, I feel very strong about South America as well. So yeah, thank you. Are you okay if we get the floor open for one or two questions? I think we've had a nice, very good background, and yeah, to get some questions from the floor.
Let's do it.
Yeah, go. Umar, can I ask you just to unmute anyone that can put up their hands? You're welcome. We've got a few people. Ask your questions, and Umar will unmute you. You can just put up your hand. Umar will unmute you. If you're not sure how to put up your hand in Zoom, there's a you know, a little button that you can ask for. There we go. There's the first one, Umar.
Yeah, looks like we have one. I'm gonna unmute M.
Good evening, Nuno.
Hey, buddy.
Hi. Yeah, it's going good. It's going great. I have no question. I just wanted to show the community how to raise your hand, and that's all.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Well, we can always carry on until we have someone. There's lots of things. I think obviously, we see a lot of things with, you know, interviews with Sonia as well that she had now with Wolf of Wall Street and all those things. But generally, you know, I really feel that if we can stick to just doing the basics, you know, we know we're in cycles. We know the cycle comes and goes. We know we're probably heading for a bull market. People will want to ask us, you know, I know we don't do announcements, but, you know, if we look at merchants and at numbers and merchants coming in, you obviously don't announce or list all merchants because there are too many. So people ask, but you said you are going to burn tokens if there's a lot of transactions, and how do they know that that's still going to happen? You get those questions. Maybe it's from, you know, from the community. Is there a view on that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the burn is something that we aim to deploy next year, and this year was very difficult to implement it. First, we need to build. We didn't start it yet, but we can gather the numbers, and then while we do it, we can build something more automated, like we have on Hold, that buys automatically from the market. But I think next year we will start the burn. This is also tricky because the word burn is some way or another not well perceived by some exchanges, okay? Because in US it might be considered a security, okay? Our legal, we had obviously a legal, how do you say, a legal overview of our token, and it's a utility token even with burn. So this gives us the confidence to deploy this next year. This year we were still trying to figure out if this was something that could impact us negatively, and obviously we wanted the number of transactions and the volume to grow. Otherwise, it wouldn't be much of a burn with it. Just a couple of thousands of tokens or whatever. I think it's not that significant. Next year, we should expect the start of this program, and I'm quite confident that the numbers will be really nice. So it will create excitement, obviously, in our community. and I think it's going to be very positive for our token. But not only the burn. I mean, I think also the new model that we presented on the Hold app is also very efficient, because you know that people exchange more back and forth cryptocurrencies than actually make payments with those. And this is not something new. I mean, if you go to the volume of the exchanges and the volume of payments are still a bit earlier. So I think on the reverse staking will have a huge impact. Hopefully next year we have some really nice amount of tokens locked that were obviously bought from the market and removed from circulation, and a nice amount of tokens being burned or destroyed. I like more the word destroyed, actually. Destroyed permanently on a monthly basis. This is something that probably will have a very nice impact on our token beginning next year. This year we didn't, obviously we have now the reverse staking mechanism, but the burn itself we didn't implement it for this year.
I see in the chat we do have one or two. I'm going to read one for you from Alex R. He says, Nuno, I think adding new coins would attract a lot more new users. If they could buy their coin with the advantages of the app, what do you think about that? So you understand that question.
That's a very nice question. This is something that we debate internally a lot. I would like to talk about this regarding obviously the payment gateway and the wallet, because there are two products, one serving B2B2C, another serving the B2C market, but part of the same company. So on the payment gateway, we didn't add more currencies because people simply don't use those currencies, okay? We only add currencies that have a really high volume and demand. Demand not only by people that want to pay with them, but also by the merchants. The currencies that now are integrated on the payment gateway are 99.999% of the currencies used worldwide for payments, okay? The rest is just part of the speculative game that we have no interest in integrating, because ultimately it will pollute our user experience. You don't want to go to a payment gateway and have 30 or 40 coins. That's not what we want. You want to have the best ones and the ones that people actually use. So this is for the payment gateway. For the app, I'm a bit reluctant in starting integrating a bunch of useless coins, to be honest. We have the ones that have the highest volume and demand in the market, besides Litecoin, that we already have it ready to deploy, but we didn't yet, because we are still deciding if we really want to add Litecoin to our currencies basket or not. The vision here is to keep the app super clean in terms of currencies, only the best ones, not only because those are the ones that have more volume. For the business, it's good. For the users, those are the ones that they trade the most. And at the same time, we do not pollute our wallet with a bunch of useless coins. And this way, we also protect our users from buying or selling riskier assets, as per se. I know that, for example, Coinbase had this approach in the beginning, but then they started listing a lot of coins. And obviously, I think because they are mostly competing with Binance, that has a lot of coins, so I understand what they are doing. But from a hold perspective, from the wallet perspective, I don't think that's relevant, to be honest. Because what I see now is, if you want to buy all of those different small cap or whatever coins, you probably will go to Binance, that has the highest liquidity. We don't want to be the wallet for you to buy like new altcoins or trending altcoins or whatever. We want Bitcoin, Ethereum, that obviously are the most solid, obviously our own currency, and then stable coins. And then we give you the ability to cash out in seconds to the card, or obviously to your bank, the connection to your bank. And next month, you will see more banking connection to different currencies and regions, okay? Not only talking about the card, but the fact that you will be able to top up and withdraw to your bank from a lot more regions and currencies. This is something that we are working on. But again, we are a 50-something people team, 55, if I'm not mistaken. We are not like a 300 or 400 or 1,000 people team like Coinbase. We really have great ideas, but we cannot do everything at the same time. Our payment gateway and invoicing solution exploding in demand. So a ton of work there, a ton of things to improve, to deploy. Now the new wallet that we also will add more features, and obviously went live, and we need to monitor and improve a lot of things. Plus all the other things around it and stuff that I cannot disclose. So
yeah, I absolutely agree. I'm with a fintech company myself, and a small startup as well that I do see patients online. And the developers, we have to structure and prioritize every single week. And they, this is what you can do. Many ideas, but you've got to get it all going. So I absolutely agree with that. And I think there was a great answer. The people aren't asking it orally, but they do write in the chat. So I'm going to. This question has come up a lot. I don't think you maybe need to give a long answer, but it is an interesting one, and it's on the group a lot. So I'm going to ask it. It is from Crypto Viking, and he says, "How about adding, guess, Spotify as part of Tier 2 staking?" So we've had the Spotify question a lot. Quick comment on that?
We could do it, honestly. I mean, but to be honest, giving Spotify as a perk, it's irrelevant. What we want to give for Tier 2 is much more than that. We want you to actually be rewarded in something that you can trade for cash or not, or other currencies. I'm not a big fan of all of those cards that offer you Spotify and this and that, and then charge you a huge amount of staking. We only charge 1,000 UTK to be super inclusive. We don't want a guy that has a low income to not be able to access the rewards of the app just because he doesn't have more money to buy a bunch of UTK. That's not how we roll. The idea behind our reverse staking model is to be super inclusive, but also to reward users, not with Spotify and stuff like that. That I also understand that business model, but we actually want to reward with the best thing we can reward the users with, UTK. And I think that's the cool thing about it. And bought from the markets. It's not that we are giving from our supply, because we only have 10%. We sold 90% in the public offering. I know that the vast majorities of the companies that give a bunch of tokens for free, 20% a year, etc., they do that because they hold 90% of the supply. They only sold 10%, so they are the whales. Our tokens are locked until 2022. There are big differences here. So basically, they give away tokens, they flood the market, they increase the circulating supply, and obviously what people do when they get those free tokens every day and every month, they sell them on the market. So the term for that, they dump them. That's the reality. Reverse staking is the opposite. We buy them with a business, we give them to the users, but they are locked. So the locking effect, the more users we get, the more tokens are locked, and the higher is the buying pressure. And basically that's it. So I don't think we are going to have those type of perks. It's really easy. I could partner tomorrow with a company that provides those perks, or even discounts in Zara or wherever it's out there, but it's not part of our business model. The business model here will be with Tier 2. We will pay you to trade, to exchange. Okay, you shall be rewarded to trade inside the app you like the most. Okay, and I think that Tier 2 will make that evident and will have a very, very good impact. Tier 1 was more like testing the waters, see if it's sustainable, look at our numbers, our volume, user behavior, and then with that we can model the Tier 2. But we have a pretty good idea already of what tier 2 will be, but it needs to be finalized.
Okay, so yeah, that's a wonderful answer. I think, we're now we're 10 to 9, so I think we can still carry on one or two questions if you're okay. Then maybe this question is because people, like you say, want to go perks, but you've got to be very focused in where the company is going, and I really enjoy that. There are a lot of other things, and you can go for Plu and get a Plu card or this card and get Spotify and all that, but that's not really the market, CRO, whatever. So the next question is from DZ, and he asks, or the person asks, if you're going to, obviously with the exchange now and exchanging things, are you going to add digital yuan when it will be ready? Now we're talking about the East, and the East, we haven't spoken much about the East, so we don't know much about digital yuan. You maybe know more. Is that something that, are we going to include them?
I don't see why not. If we want to stay competitive and relevant, we will include Libra. We will include. They changed the name Libra, by the way. And Sanya knows the co-founder of Libra. She was in the Facebook event last year. We did some tests with the integration. For us, it's really easy to integrate Libra, to be honest, Facebook Coin. So yeah, we're gonna integrate those because we want to stay competitive. Although our core is decentralized currencies, there is no such thing as a purely decentralized currency, only Bitcoin. The rest is semi-decentralized, and then you will have the centralized ones. But there is no issue in that. If it brings us users and value to the app and to the people, for sure, we will, and we will be the first ones.
Umar, if you can just have a look, there's someone that says he has a question for Nuno. Can you please unmute me? If you can do that, that'd be great. While you do that, Umar, just have a look at the chat. While you do that, one of the last ones here that I can see, I think it says Believer.
Subscription.
Yeah, I'm 50, so I can't read these small letters, but I can actually get to
them. I can read. When are you expecting subscription services?
Yes, that one, if you can take that.
We probably are going to roll out the first one on Q1. I could probably talk about the technicalities of this for 10 or 15 minutes, but to keep it short and sweet, subscriptions are impossible if the wallet is decentralized, because you cannot, the user's keys, you cannot go there and pull his crypto. That's not how it works. Subscription is only possible if the wallet is centralized. And then, okay, but what currency will you charge? Imagine that Bitcoin is going really up and the user wants to keep his Bitcoin, and then the subscription pulls Bitcoin from his account and exchange to fiat. So subscription is a really, really tricky topic. We found a solution, but obviously users will need to manually confirm the payment on a monthly basis, because we cannot pull payment from a decentralized wallet, but we can from the centralized. But this is something that we are still looking at. Key one, we should have some hybrid solution for that. And you know that we are working with Scott Melker because he wants a subscription model. So we already have the things pretty much ready on our side, but he uses a third-party service that, and they are the biggest one, Revenue or Revoir or whatever, but they are quite big. But we need to integrate with them as well. And our product team, we're in talk with their product team. I don't know how that stuff is going now, but I will ask Martinho, and probably he will have a better update for you, I believe. So next question. Hello, Nuno. Congrats on everything, Chip. With cash advance, people will have the opportunity to borrow money by locking crypto as collateral. Will regular users be able to lend, for instances, and earn from borrowing? I mean, I think this goes both ways. The only thing that we are looking now is to see what's the best provider for us, okay? Lending and borrowing, we know how hot it is, but at the same time, I think that we would never build this from scratch, because that's not our business. We just use a third-party partner for this. But this third party, needs to be licensed, needs to have insurance, needs to have proper technology and safety procedures in place. So all of this is taken into consideration, but we should expect this to be in the app. I don't know, I would say Q2 probably. never sooner than that, because we already have stuff that we want to add to the app first, that I think make more sense at this point. But for this, we just integrate with a partner.
That's great. I think it's been such a great session. Umar, if we can probably finish off, Nuno, if we want to close. If there's anyone else, I don't think there's anything else that we don't want to make it too long. People want to watch it. You've got time to go.
I can add a little bit to the PayPal topic because I think it's relevant.
Yeah, just a second. There's Umar. There's someone that you must unmute. He wants to ask a question.
Okay.
Yes,
Cool.
yes. I would like to ask
There we go.
a question.
Okay, you can go.
The question would be: is there any possibility?
No, we can't hear anything.
No.
No, I think I can understand. Can you continue?
Okay. Is there any possibility that the whole will get 24/7 support?
24. Yeah. Okay. Understood. So this is a good question. Keep in mind that the tech support of the app is 24/7. Okay, because obviously we are dealing with assets. And we need to be on top of it 24/7. The customer support itself, we don't have it on the weekends, but obviously a lot of community members are asking. So this is something that we need to look into, and probably we'll have to have it. But no exchange that I know of, Coinbase, Bitpanda, wherever exchanges out there, they do not provide support on the weekends. Okay, this is standard in the industry. Tech support, yes, but customer support, no, because usually half of the tickets are related to compliance, okay? Not a lot of the tickets are related to technical issues, and the ones that exist, we are always on top of them. So that's why there's not that common customer support on the weekends, to be honest. But I took that feedback into consideration. Let me discuss this with the team.
Right, and then you can carry on about PayPal if you want to give us a comment on that.
Sure thing. Any words on marketing? We started. We were not doing Google Ads and paid social media marketing. We started testing those like a month ago, and we are fine tuning it. So expect to see a lot of Utrust ads all over the place in the coming months. We are just fine-tuning it so the costs are proper, because the costs are really crazy high for those type of ads. The rest, you see that we have huge support of a lot of crypto influencers and YouTubers that really love what we do. And that's it, organic, and obviously we will have to spend money as well to have those ads all over the place, pushing more merchants towards Utrust. Regarding PayPal, I think this is something really cool that the community should know. We are very happy with PayPal entering the game, and probably you'll say, but why? They will be your competitor now. Utrust started as a vision, and now comes PayPal and validates what we have been saying all of this time. Cryptocurrencies will be used for payments. PayPal is a traditional company that obviously has shareholders, dividends to pay. They have a huge structure and bills and a lot of things to take care of. So I don't see them changing their fees and their procedures anytime soon. This means that it will be really difficult for them to even get near to our pricing and our flexibility as a company. We are 100% blockchain company, like Tesla is 100% electric cars company. Toyota can come or whatever. I saw a great example by a community member, by the way, that gave this specific example, and I love it and I use it now. Other manufacturers of cars can come and say, we are going to produce electric cars now. Who cares? 70 to 90% of their business is still benzene cars. You know, they cannot change all their manufacturing, all their engineers that produce traditional types of cars to start producing technology in electric cars. So they will be stuck on the old cars industry for a couple of decades more. Okay, that's the reality. And PayPal will be stacked on the processing credit and debit cards a couple of decades more, because that's their core business. That's where they make more money, and that's what their business is built around. Utrust, 100% blockchain, on-chain payments, flexibility, faster, cheaper, and safer. That's it. It's very difficult for a big old company to compete with a flexible young company that focuses entirely on a disruptive technology and has extremely competitive rates. And basically that's it. Let PayPal onboard a lot of merchants accepting cryptocurrencies, because then Utrust hopefully will be available with 100% blockchain focused technology and all of the advantages that come with that. Not only the vastly lower fees that make a big difference for the merchant at the end of the year, of course. And that's it basically regarding PayPal. Had to take this from the chest because I read a lot of comments. Oh, now PayPal is coming. This is great for Utrust. I mean, adoption for Utrust would take much more time if there was not PayPal saying this is solid, this is the future, we vouch for this. But then obviously we are much more competitive in terms of fees and all of the rest. So for us, it's amazing.
Yeah, you know, there's an economic principle, and there was a movie, A Beautiful Mind, that and a Nobel Prize was won by a man that said, the more people you have in the same environment going for the same economic gains, the better it is for everybody. So that's why if you go to a takeaway store and buy a hamburger, there are 5 of them next to each other, and they all make more money because they're all there. So, you know, tribalism, I think, is not a good thing. It's great to have them there. It's great for them to bring in millions and millions and millions of users. And that is just from the West. If we look at, you know, WeChat, and we look at all the guys coming in from the East, from Alibaba, you know, that's where we really want the payments to come from. And you still got the best website in the world in crypto. You know, that's like website is just amazing.
The only one that the only crypto company that ever won that prize.
That prize was amazing. But that website, you know, I've got so many people that I know that does not know anything about crypto. I said to them, just have to have a look at the website, and they are all amazed.
Yeah, we focused a lot on that because Bitcoin had, I mean, the reputation is getting better, but the reputation was not that solid. And we wanted merchants to come to our webpage and say, whoa, this is the future. This is the technology that's going to rule. And these guys are really cool. I want to use them. This was the effect that we wanted with the webpage, because at the end of the day, it's like a visit card, you know, and people might be impressed with it or not. So we want the wow factor for the merchants, and I think it played really well for us. And it took us a long time to do that webpage because it's all interactive and stuff. But I think at the end of the day, it paid out because we have feedback like yours that we really like, and others, and it makes us really proud.
Thank you very much. You know, any closing comments? I think we've got a last question, but we've answered that previously in about the name of the app. I don't know if you want to say something on that, but otherwise, any closing comments from your side? And really, I'll thank you afterwards. But closing comments for the night?
I'm gonna just reply to this last one. Is there any time frame to rename the app to? Yes, there is no time frame, but we are working on it. It's dependent on Visa, our partner's Visa, so it's not something that we can do ourselves. Closing comments. I mean, I really love this. This is the way that should be. I prefer to talk with the community. I'm a member of the community as well at the end of the day, and have these questions thrown to me because I really like to reply and try to convey what's happening with Utrust. Although the majority of us follow Utrust closely, we can do this on a more regular basis. I'm really happy to do it. I mean, when Em approached me, I said immediately yes, and I'm approached by dozens of YouTubers a week, and it's not my style to do. I like more this type of thing with the community that really understand what's Utrust and have like really nice questions, and I'm very happy, and thank you all very much. I mean, this was amazing.
Oh, well, thank you very much for that. I think also my, big thanks to him that started that. This all came from the community and for people involved. And, we will definitely take you up on that challenge. I think we'll plan it. We, do something similar with something else, other people. But
we can do next month and bring Sanya as well on board. Any other team members that you guys want. I mean, I think the Utrust team it's up to it always. I mean, for the community, everything.
It's going to be great for us to get to know them better, and someone like Sanya would be wonderful. I think that's one of the most amazing women to see on.
She's amazing. She's the best CEO in the world. She's just a machine. She's really good.
She is incredible. It will be great to have her, and then we will do that. And I will be not in the middle of the bush, so from the middle of the south tip of Africa. In this thunderstorm we had, I had to make big arrangements to speak to you, and I'm so glad I did. And next time I'll probably have fiber again and not a mobile phone. But like you said, a mobile phone, you know, to prove to you guys, that is the only way I can speak to Nuno tonight. It's with a mobile phone. It's connected to my, you know, my power bank, because otherwise I won't have power. And my laptop was holding out. So, and that is what it can do. And that is what Utrust can do for the world, for global adoption. Absolutely. And you know, yeah, for sure. Next month when we're ready and I'm back home, then we'll have a great talk. Thank you so much. It was wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Love this. Thank you.
Thank you much, everybody in community. That was really great. Have a wonderful day, evening, morning, wherever you are. Greetings from South Africa.
Thank you all. Greetings from Portugal. Bye-bye.